How do there, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV, where we're going to have another look at the world rankings. Big changes. Big changes this week, big changes coming next week as well. The Players' Championship Finals coming up next week, where we have a high turnover of players over a 2 year spell. We're even missing people like Peter Wright, who's going to be defending the first place money. So, big money dropping off his rankings. Nathan Aspinall not taking part in the event either. Two big players here from the world of darts, but we're concentrating at the moment on the Grand Slam and the changes that we're going to see from this. Another event that causes big movement because it's a 1 year cycle. The rankings don't really come into play. It's all how you perform over that year and that season. So we do see a big movement in terms of where people are placed in regards to the order of merit, the main order of merit, the 2 year order of merit, the one we call the world ranking system. So let's take a little look at those and see the stories that have developed from this past week in Wolverhampton. The first thing we can do is going to start at the bottom, and we can see that there's been quite a few little moves in this bottom end. Nothing too much noticed here. Gervin and Muramatsu going up, moving a couple of people down. Most of these people will be disappeared by the end of the year in regards to that. Fallon Sherrick is in the World Championship, so she's got opportunity to go even higher in the world rankings. Bo Greaves won't be. She's decided to opt and go into the WF World Championship, so she will not be taking her place in the event. Barry Van Peer moves up to 107th. He's gone up 8 places. He will be in the World Championship, as will Stowe Bunce, the man who reached the quarterfinals here at the Grand Slam of Darts. Now, this is significant in a way because Stowe Bunce's ranking, it's quite sizable. He's up to 91 already. He's just shy of £30,000. He's got £7,500 guaranteed for making the Worlds. When we look up towards that cut-off point, which is the 64 place, at the moment, Mickey Mansell, £75,000. This is significant because if you can get into the top 64 by the end of the year, so a good World Championship, top 64, he'll be offered a PDC tour card for 1 year, 1 season. Now, should he then get into a situation where he doesn't get in the top 64, that money disappears. So let's say Barry Van Peer. We've heard Stowe Bunce has no intentions at the moment to go to PDCQ school. Let's say Barry Van Peer goes and gets into the top 64, he gets a 1 year card, and his money goes and continues. Has Barry Van Peer doesn't get in the top 64, goes and gets a tour card, his money starts again at 0, but he gets a 2 year card. So quite a tricky situation there to navigate, but don't worry, I'll talk you through it. But the main thing is, got to be in that top 64 if they want to keep the money from this year. And they only get a 1 year card, not a 2. Back to the rankings. Steve Lennon up a couple of places, Rafferty up a couple of places, which gives him hope of keeping hold of his PDC tour card as well. Jan van Veen continues to climb up. He moves up to 49. He's not defending anything at the Players or the Worlds, so he's guaranteed another £10,000 on there. So expect to see him make some moves. Mensa Soldovic, someone we've picked up for a while, just continues to slide down those rankings. I'll update you on that, as I will with Mervyn King as well, who continues to slide. He's down 3 places in his. Ricardo Petretsko, not really defending anything, so expect that climb and that rise to continue. Vincent van der Voort wasn't even in the event, and he's gone up 3 places. It's a privileged position when that happens, when you're not even in the event, but yet you're still moving in the right direction. Around that top 32 space, very, very tight. Suter just a couple of £1,000 behind. Top 32, obviously get that World Championship position, and you get a seeded place, so you start in round 2 rather than in the opening round. Martin Schindler looks like he's found where his level's going to be. He's going to be around that sort of mid-20s mark. He's dropped 3 places. Gabriel Clements going down 1. That's just inevitable when you've got people like Josh Rock, who's still not defending anything. It's all free money still for Josh Rock at the moment. He's got that World Championship. He's got the Players' Championship finals. So it's quite feasible to think that if Josh Rock continues to play the standard that he is doing, we could see Josh Rock into the top 16. De Souza, someone I think is coming out of the top 32 in the near future. I think he's the next sort of player that we're going to see fade away. He's down another couple of places. Bunting continues his climb. He's not far away now from getting himself into that top 16. He's obviously got some big money to defend coming up. But the darts, he's playing the darts of his life. David Bunting's playing quality darts. And I find it really, really hard to argue against at the moment, Stephen Bunting. Look at Andrew Gilding. Currently £44,000 away from Ryan Searle, who's in 16th position at the moment. Ryan Searle, we know, is defending his biggest prize money to date. James Wade, we know, is defending big money at the World Championship as well. So there's a couple of people above him defending a lot while he's defending nothing. He wasn't even in the World Championship a couple of years ago. He's defending nothing at the back end of this year. I expect Andrew Gilding could be in the top 16 with just an average or a standard based performance at the back end of this year. I think we could see Gilding in the top 16, which would be great to see. Damon Heta gone up a few places now. He's gone into joint 10th position with Dirk van Dijvenbode, who has those concerns and those worries. We don't know what to expect from Dirk at the moment with regards to his form. He's been talking about that shoulder issue that he's got at the moment. So a little bit of a concern, and we'll obviously pick up on all the money that the players have still got to defend at the back end of the year. When you get into like the top end of the rankings, you tend not to see as much movement there. That's just because the prize money and how it sort of distributes. But we will see some big moves over the next couple of months going into that final. We wasn't really expecting to see too many changes. So this is pre-final. You see Rob Cross going one place above Johnny Clayton. Had he won that final against Luke Humphries, he would only have gone at one further place. And this is what I'm trying to indicate here, that winning titles doesn't jump you massive amounts when you're up in that top area. You'll see here as well, Luke Humphries unable to move any higher than that fourth position. Gerwyn Price just coming a little bit away from that top four, but we know people such as Peter Wright's got big money to defend at the back end of the year, so we could see him drop below Price and Aspinall, and maybe some others depending on what happens at the back end of the year. This is where the big one, the world rankings, the world championship, that sort of decides these areas so much. If you don't have a deep run in that, you're not going to be in the top sort of four or that sort of battle. We're also going to see a lot of movement around that 16 position, which is significant for match play and Grand Prix. We're going to see movement around that 32. We're going to see a lot of movement down at 64, which is your tour card cutoff. So lots and lots of movement in these rankings going to be happening. I'll be showing you in this next week who's going to be coming out in terms of who can't defend money at the Players' Championship finals because they're not going to be there, such as our champion Peter Wright, who's going to be making those big moves, and obviously going into the World Championship as well. If you're a little bit unfamiliar, make sure you subscribe to Go to TV. I will talk you through absolutely everything. And if you just like this anyway because you like hearing my opinion on things, also hit that subscribe button, and I'll be back very soon with plenty more Edgar TV, because this is the time of season. This gets really fun. Catch you soon, guys. Edgar TV.